Hello, guys, and welcome to another session where we are going to be talking about our mind, the human mind, and uncertainty in trading. How our human mind reacts to uncertainty, and most of the time, we are not even aware of the fact that this is how the human mind reacts to uncertainty. And when we bring that mind into trading and it begins to react the way it does, we find out that it does not favor our trading journey or our trading account. So, understanding how the human mind works and how the human mind perceives uncertainty is something that is very important for every trader to know. So, welcome to the channel. And if this is your first time watching us, or this is your first time coming across any of our lectures, please make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and also make sure to hit that notification button so that anytime we drop any valuable content, you are going to be one of the first people that are going to get notified about it. Also, there is a link to join our Telegram channel in the description. There is also a link where you can contact me directly. And also, if you want to start your trading journey, you will obviously need a broker. And so, there is a link to a brokerage, one of the best broker or the best broker that we have in the world. So make sure to create your account, make sure to follow us, make sure to join our Telegram channel because you're going to be getting a lot of valuable content from us on a daily basis. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the mind and uncertainty in trading, how the mind perceives uncertainty, how it reacts to uncertainty. So, this is what we are going to be talking about today. If you have been following up with my content or if you have been following up on the channel, you are going to understand that we talk about the human mind and we talk about emotions and how our emotions they work and how they work against us in trading. And most at times we don't even understand or we don't even know that this is what is happening, and we tend to lose money in trading over and over again, not knowing why we are losing, but just because the mind that we are bringing into trading is not just the mind that was built for the trading environment. So our minds have been built for survival, and in that survival mindset, there are certain ways or certain patterns in which the mind will respond when it comes across certain things, certain forces outside of its own self as a way of surviving. So, all of these surviving mechanisms have served us a long way from when our ancestors still had to roam the savannas, and it really served us well then. But today you're going to find out that most of those threats that our ancestors used to face in the past, they are no longer there, but the mind still reacts to all of these dramas in the same way. So, how does the mind perceive uncertainty? For our human minds, uncertainty to it means something very different. All right. So it means something very different. And what does it mean? Being vulnerable, being out of control. And what is the human mind built to do? The human mind is built to predict. But you can bear with me that you cannot predict in an environment that there is uncertainty in it. All right. So that is why it is so difficult uh to predict a lot of things, right? A lot of the natural forces that we have. It is difficult to predict when the wind is going to come. It is difficult to predict when maybe rain is going to fall, sun is going to shine. So these are environments that are uncertain, and the human mind has been built to predict, to look at the future and try to predict the outcome. So when we bring that mind, which is trying to predict in the market, right, and the environment of the market is that of uncertainty, what do you think is going to happen? Is this a good is it a good place for this mind to be trading with, or for this mind to be functioning in. So the mind is trying to predict when trading requires that you don't predict, right? And so the mind is trying to predict why. What is required in trading is rational decision making. So, when you get into this particular situation, there are certain ways in which the mind is going to respond. And usually, when it responds, it does not usually favor our trading accounts. So, our response to fear, to greed, to uncertainty, to anger, same way that we are going to respond in our natural life, that is how it is going to affect us in our trading as well. And so, most at times, you're going to hear me tell you that trading is mostly about the person or the mind that is executing a strategy. It is not about you having the best strategy, but you knowing how to control your own mind, how to work with your own mind. So, uh, the nature of uncertainty in the market. Trading is a profession that is built on probabilities, not certainties, right? So, whenever you put on a trade in the market, you don't know if that trade is going to be a winning trade or it is going to be a losing trade. And so, at any point in time, you are dealing or you are functioning in a probabilistic environment, and there is no room for certainty. All right, so if we are working in a probabilistic environment, it means that the outcome of each thing that we do, or each sequence of effort that we put in, has an uncertain outcome. So you don't know if when I put on this trade, it is going to be a winner or it is going to be a loser. So when the mind comes into trading and it is trying to build uncertainty by trying to predict, right, you're going to find yourself doing a lot of errors in trading, like you freezing and you staying out of certain trades because the mind is afraid of stepping into that uncertainty. And so, when the mind is uncertain of what the future is going to be, it is either going to freeze or it, it is either going to react through three ways, right? It reacts in three ways. It is either going to flee, it is going to fight back, or it is going to freeze. So when you find yourself freezing, not being able to take trades in the market, that is the mind reacting to uncertainty. You find yourself running away from trades or over trading, right? That is the mind as well reacting to uncertainty. All right. So we need to train the mind, or we need to bring a mind, or we need to rewire the mind in such a way that it is able to deal with uncertainty, it is able to function in a probabilistic environment, and it is able to function in an environment where the outcome is always uncertain, right? So it is just like our normal day-to-day life. You don't know what is going to happen in the next hour, in the next 5 minutes, in the next 1 hour, in the next 2 days, in the next week, right? But you're always willing to give it a try. And what we usually do is that we always try to predict the future, right? That is what we naturally do as human beings. We try to uh, what we naturally do as human beings is that we try to look at certain things, compare certain variables, and then we want to predict the future, to know how the future is going to be. And when we bring this mind into trading, which is trying to predict in an environment where there is uncertainty, that is where the big trouble comes in as well. So you must have heard me said that uncertainty is the way the forex market is built, the way the financial market is built. So at each point in time, you don't know what is going to happen. When price comes to a support level, you don't know if price is going to break through that support level or it is going to hold. When price goes to a resistance level, you don't know if price is going to break through that resistance level or not. But thanks to technical analysis, we can, through a certain way of doing things, certain way of looking at price action, we can now say, okay, this is a confirmation that we are going to be heading lower, and we are able to follow price. But when you come into the market and you're trying to predict every outcome, right? In an environment that is singing uncertainty, 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 what do you think is going to happen? So, uncertainty is the key essence of the forex market. So, whenever you're putting on a trade, you will never know if that trade is going to be a winning trade or it is going to be a losing trade. So, when I have my students come and then they ask me, they do the analysis and then they send it to me, and then they are going to ask me that, please, is my analysis going to be right? Am I going to make money on this trade? What I would tell them is that just put on the trade. When you put on the trade, you're going to know if that trade is going to be a winning trade or it is going to be a losing trade. So we don't know as trader what is going to happen next when we put on a trade. So the market is a wide environment, a very large environment, and it is being affected by several factors, right? And changes in these factors are very, very sharp and quick. And when these factors change, then price or values of assets in the market can also change rapidly. So all of these factors makes the financial market or makes trading very, very unpredictable. All right. So traders must learn to operate confidently under an uncertain environment. So the mind is built for certainty, but the reality of things is that we find uncertainty everywhere. So the best way that we can deal with this situation is to develop a mind that is well capable of dealing with uncertainty. A mind that can function in an uncertain environment and is not shaken by the noise or by the pressures of uncertainty. So it is very, very normal that when you don't know what is going to happen, uh, at times you're going to feel scared, right? But at the end of the day, ask yourself that, why am I feeling scared? So when you want to put on that trade and you're feeling that fear, you're feeling that tightness in you, first of all, you pause and you ask yourself that, why am I feeling scared? And most at times you're going to see that there is no reason for you to be feeling scared. So always try to question your own emotions. That is what we call you being able to communicate with your emotions. So when you feel that tightness, ask yourself. When you feel anger, ask yourself, why am I feeling angry? If you are feeling like you should revenge trade, ask yourself, why should I be revenge trading? If you're feeling frustrated, ask yourself, why am I frustrated? So always try to question all of these emotions, because at the end till, your emotions are guiding lights, right? They are guiding you to something, they are guiding you to open up to more of your own self. So learn to operate in an uncertain environment. This is what every trader must do, and this is what everybody who undergoes or undertakes the trading journey must accept at their own core. That you don't know at any particular time what is going to happen in the market. You, the trader, you don't know what is going to happen, but you can look at a key, or you can look at key fundamentals in the market and look at few technicals as well, and you're able to give a long-term view on what is going to be happening on the market, a short-term view on what is happening in the market. But you need to understand that uncertainty is the nature of the market, and you must bring your mind to accept and to be able to function in an uncertain environment. So whenever you come across all these problems in trading, when you're feeling scared because you don't know what the outcome of the trade is going to be, then you need to come back to yourself and ask yourself that, do you really know what is going to happen in the next few hours? So trading to me is most often just like our normal day-to-day life, right? So we don't know what is going to happen at any point in time. So or when you come into trading, you need to bring in this mindset as well, so that when you put on a trade, you are going to tell yourself that I don't know what is going to happen on this trade, but through my fundamentals, through my technicals, I am willing to give it this amount of trial. I'm good with giving it this trial, trying out these certain parameters and seeing if the outcome is going to be positive or negative. And so, win or lose in trading, you are not a bad trader. Win or lose, you are not a bad trader. So, your worth as a trader is not tied to your personality. So, your worth as a person is not tied to your trading. All right. So, we must all learn to function in an environment that is singing uncertainty all the time. All right. So, training the mind to function in an environment that is singing uncertainty is one of the key essential things that every trader must do. So, the mind will always struggle with the unknown. So, whenever you want to do something which is really not known to you, so when you're traveling to somewhere new, let's say you're traveling to somewhere new, let's say you're meeting a new friend, you're meeting somebody for the first time, right? When it is your first time encountering something, there is always that fear of the unknown. You don't know who that person is going to turn out to be. You don't know how it is going to be when you want to get into a relationship. There is always that tightness, at times that fear, because you don't know how all of it is going to turn out. So the mind has a certain way of it reacting to the unknown, and usually the mind struggles with things that it does not know, things that are uncertain to it. So the brain craves clarity and predictability. So for you to function, for you to survive from one day to the next, your mind is always telling you that you must be aware of what is going to happen. That is why we find ourselves nowadays, we are running up and down, trying to predict, trying to do all sorts of things, because we want to create that clarity and that predictability that our future tomorrow is certain, right? So the reason why you're here listening to me, trying to learn forex, is because you want to be clear about your future. You want to be certain. You want to predict the future. You want to have a good future for yourself, right? So that is why you're here. So that is just the mind doing what it is built to do, to crave clarity and for it to crave predictability. Now, all of these, it helps us in our day-to-day living, right? But now when you bring in this mind into trading, that is where the big problem is. So we are not saying that the mind has any problem. The mind is perfectly good as it is, all right? So it is doing just what it is supposed to be doing, and if it does not do this, or if it has not been doing this, most of us would have already been dead by now. So the mind is doing what it is supposed to do, and what it is doing is good. But the big problem is that when we bring in the way the mind does things into trading, that is where the big problem lies in. So have you ever asked yourself that, why is it that the financial market seems so easy, yet just a few number of people are making money out of the foreign exchange market or the financial market? Why is it so? If it was because of technicals, then uh, with the amount of technical strategies that we have out there, and with how good I see people with their technical analysis, there should be more profitable traders out there than what we currently have at the moment. So, at one point in time, I came to understand that it is not just about technical analysis, but your mindset, your psychology, and your emotions, especially these our hidden reactions to all of these external our external environment. uh, it is very very crucial. This knowledge is very very crucial for every trader. So fear of losing may paralyze decision making. So when you are afraid, when you're uncertain, and you don't know if when I put on this trade, is it going to be a profitable trade or it is going to be a losing trade? When your mind comes into that type of situation, usually you are going to freeze or you're going to avoid the situation at all costs, or you're going to fight and you're going to try uh, to react in all sorts of way, and your mind begins to react in all sorts of way. So when you're afraid of losing, when you're afraid of uncertainty, so if you're afraid of losing, in essence, what are you afraid of? You are afraid of an uncertain future. All right. So if you're afraid of losing, then it is because you are afraid of an uncertain future. And so, accepting uncertainty, like we were discussing, like I have been telling you throughout, is what is going to help you as a forex trader or as somebody who trades in the financial market. All right. So when the mind comes across uncertainty, you are going to have this fear, and this fear of losing may lead to you uh, paralyzing and being unable to make sharp decisions at the moment when you are supposed to be making those decisions. So overconfidence after a series of wins also can blind us to risks. So when you take a couple of winning positions in the market, your mind becomes so confident and it begins to feel as if it has now mastered the whole process of trading. And most at times, what you are going to find most of us we do in this situation is that we expose ourselves to more risks. All right. We expose ourselves to more risks, and when we expose ourselves to more risks, we find ourselves losing. So, at each point in time, every trader should be able to manage their levels of courage in the market. So your courage should not go that high in such a way that it sabotages your trading, and your courage should not be that low in such a way that it also sabotages your trading. So there must be a balance in your courage level. And how do you attain this level of courage? Is by you detaching from the outcome of your trading performance. So, be it a winning trade or be it a losing trade, you must be able to detach yourself from the outcomes of your trades, and it is going to cut down this confidence or underconfidence in your trading. So, impulsive reactions that also sabotage a sound trading plan. All right. So, it is very, very easy for you to get very impulsive after uh, we get most of these our emotions aroused. So take for example, you're trading in the morning, you took a trade and it was a winning trade, and in the afternoon you take another trade and you lose a very small amount of money on it. And instead of you accepting that loss, and instead of you waiting for the next day to look for a clearer opportunity, your mind begins to tell you that there is a possibility that you can get into the market at any time and you're going to be making back that money which you lost. And so your trading plan tells you that you should not take more than two trades in a day. But because the mind is now convincing you, telling you that you can make back that money, because the mind does not like losing. After taking that loss, the mind will be trying always for you to recover that money. All right. So when you find yourself in that situation, you find yourself over trading, you find yourself going out of your trading plan. So when you get angered, when you get frustrated, and you bring this frustration into the market, you get this bring this anger into the market, you bring all of these emotions into trading, you are going to be sabotaging your trades, your trading performance a lot. So when the mind comes in contact with an unknown situation, then these impulsive reactions can come up. And when we react impulsively in trading, we are going to trade out of emotions. And when we trade out of emotions, that is when the market is going to get us trapped into its claws, right? So once you are trading, you need to be able to somehow be aware of each emotion that it is coming up at each point in time, and you're aware of and you're able to question each of these emotion. And so if I take a trade and I lose on that trade, and I take the other trade, I lose, and I lose a little bit on that trade, right? Instead of you trying to recover what you lost, staying out of the market and following your trading plan is going to help you a lot from losing more of your money. So once you begin to trade out of impulse in you are going to be making a lot of irrational decisions. You're going to be coming from an emotional point, and this is not good for your trading. So, emotional reactions versus rational responses. So, emotional reactions, they lead you to panic, to revenge trading, to hesitation. So, whenever your emotions take over your rational thinking, and most at times you're not even aware of this, if you've ever found yourself panicking, if you found yourself revenge trading, trying to get back money that you lost in the market, hesitating, and being unable to take the trade or to close your trade when you should be closing the trade, or when you should be taking the trade, or when you should be taking your profits, increasing your stop loss value, then you are reacting from an emotional standpoint. All right. And most often, this is what most people do in trading. So you take a loss and you panic and you lose all your money. You revenge trade and you lose everything. You hesitate and you miss out on opportunities. Now, when you react rationally in trading, this is a mind that reacts rationally. A mind that reacts rationally follows a trading plan, manage their risks, and wait for confirmation. It means you are acting out of rationality. So, one of the most important thing that you can do, or you have to do as a trader, and you must do as a trader, is detaching yourself emotionally from the market. So you're able to stand here and you look at your trading, and you see your trading, or you see your trading and everything that has to do with trading as a separate entity, and you yourself, the human being or the trader, you are a you are a different entity, right? So when you are emotionally attached to your outcome, when you're emotionally attached to your trading, then you are going to be making a lot of your decisions based on emotions. So the best way for you to do this is for you to detach yourself emotionally from your trading, especially from your trading outcomes. All right. So discipline is what bridges uncertainty and clarity. Without discipline, you will find it difficult to follow your trading plan. Without discipline, we find it difficult also to be patient. Without discipline, we find it difficult to stay out of the opportunities that are not so good opportunities. Without discipline, we find it difficult to take in just uh, A plus setup and the high probability setups. Without discipline, a lot of things will go wrong in our trading. And so, as a trader, you must be able to develop discipline in your own self, right? So there is no trader that you're going to see out there that is not a disciplined person. They must have mastered their own selves, right? And they are disciplined to a certain level. And the good thing with discipline is that you don't need to look at other people to say, this is how I am going to be building my own discipline. This is how I am going to build in my own patience. All of us, we are different and we have our own unique ways. We have our own unique strengths and our own unique abilities. So there is no way that you should be comparing yourself to other people or comparing their ways of doing things to your own ways of doing things. So you must find a way to be disciplined for yourself, to be disciplined in your trading, to be patient with yourself. All right. So you must find that uniqueness in you. That is what every trader must do. You must bring in your own uniqueness in trading. What favors me and what works best for me in trading might not be what works best for you. And so you must know what works best for you and what does not work best for you. Know your own strengths, know your own weaknesses. So trading is mostly about uh you growing as a human being. So when you get into trading at the beginning, you think that you are trading the financial market. At the end of the day, you are going to realize that it is just a self growth journey. So I always advise that at each point in everybody's life, they should try out trading because trading is a very good avenue for self development. So for you to be disciplined in trading, you have to be disciplined in your own daily life. For you to be patient in trading, you have to be patient in your own daily life. For you to to face uncertainty, you need to be able to face uncertainty in your own daily life. For you to be able to face anger, fear, frustration in trading, you must be able to face all of these in your own daily lives. And most of the time, this is what the price of getting all of that is discipline. And so if you can discipline yourself, it is going to be a very big bridge that bridges uncertainty and clarity in your trading, and not only in trading but also in your own daily life and in other things that you do in life. It is very very easy for the mindset that you build in trading to spread into other aspects of your life, and you find other aspects of your life blossoming because you're now responding to those aspects of life differently. And since trading for us is a two-sided coin, right? So when you tend to it's a coin with two sides. Trading is I like to say trading is like a coin, right? And when you turn to one side of the coin, you're going to see life. And when you turn to the other side of it, you're going to see trading. So, whatever you do in trading, it is going to reflect in your own daily life as well. So, we must be able to turn uncertainty into an edge in trading. You being unaware of the future is what makes life so interesting. So imagine that already knew the outcome of everything. You already knew how your life is going to turn out. So it takes away all of the fun and all of the meaningful the meaning of life, and it takes away the meaning of us being able to come into visible reality and for us to experience what we are experiencing right now, called life, called trading. All right. So professionals, what we do is that we embrace uncertainty and we make uncertainty a part of our daily life. And uncertainty, when you understand that uncertainty is the reality and uncertainty is an illusion, then to you begin to perform from a different mindset. You begin to perform from a whole new mindset, and it is very easy for you to transition this mindset into trading, where the outcome or where the future or where trading is always breeding or always singing uncertainty. So if I can accept uncertainty in my own daily life, if I accept uncertainty, I am good with not knowing what is going to happen, right? Then it is good and fine. So, like I am talking to you right now, I don't know what is going to happen in the next 5 minutes, in the next 1 hour, in the next day, in the next weeks, and it is totally good and fine. So, instead of being scared of this, I am always living with a curiosity mind, like asking myself that what can tomorrow bring, and what do I need to do tomorrow? What are my experiences? How am I enjoying each of my experience that life is giving to me? So whatever the scenario is, whatever the outcome comes, I am always trying to accept what uncertainty is bringing. In that way, in trading, you are going to be able to accept uncertainty. You are not going to be afraid of taking trades because you are afraid of what the future or what the outcome of that trade is going to be. And so it takes away a lot of the fear and the hesitations that we find in trading. So, professionals, what we do is that we accept or we embrace uncertainty instead of trying to run away from it, and instead of trying to predict in an uncertain environment. We accept uncertainty as the nature of the market, and we learn to function in an uncertain environment. And how do we function in an uncertain environment? By being flexible and by being very adaptive, and you're going to be able to function in an uncertain environment. So most of the time, those who achieve greatness in life are not those who are really that intelligent, but those who can be flexible and adaptive to life. As life changes, then they don't stay rigid, all right? They embrace change and they embrace uncertainty. So accept losses as part of the game. It is no news to all of us that we are going to be taking losses. Whether you are the best trader in the world, you are going to be taking losses from time to time. So even the big financial institutions, they hold on to losing positions as well. All right. So even big institutions, they see big red days as well. Same as you, the retail traders. So nobody is exempted from losing in trading. So now what you need to do is to build a mind that the outcome accepts the outcome, whether it is a winning outcome or it is a losing outcome. So I always tell my students that you need to bring yourself to a level that you now love your losses the same way that you love your wins in trading. When you love your losses the same way that you love your wins, then you are going to find it easy not to overtrade and not to revenge trade. All right. So love those losses. When you take the losses, accept them. They are part of the trading process, and nobody is exempted. But what you are going to do is that you need to control those losses by applying good risk management. So use probability and risk management. That is how you are going to control those losses. And you are going to have to develop that mind that stays calm under pressures and sees a volatility as an opportunity. So volatility means change. And change to your human mind is not something that the mind really likes. So the mind likes to be in a very well-known position. So anytime that there is a possibility of change in the market, then your mind is perceiving this change, and it is not seeing it as something that it is good, because the mind hates change. The mind does not want to accept change. And so volatility, which is simply change in the market, is a big problem to the mind. So you must also train the mind to see volatility, to see changes in the market, not as a, a stumbling block, but as an opportunity. And you must be able to train the mind to function calmly under pressure. It is no news that trading will be putting you or puts us in a lot of pressure. When there is that risk of losing money, there is pressure. When there is that uncertainty, there is pressure. All right. So what do you need to do? Do you need to do you have to fight the pressure? Is it necessary trying to fight that pressure, or it is necessary for you to train the mind to be able to function very calmly under that pressure? And most at times, how you do this, how you attain this, is by detaching from the outcome of your performance as a trader. All right. And you're going to see that most of that pressure is going to go, and you accept losses. Now, this is how you can flip the switch. And that is what I always tell people, that even with the best technical methodologies out there, given to everyone out there, right? The best technical analysis methods, the best strategy, not everybody will still be making money. And it is not because the strategy in itself is flawed, but it is because the person who is executing the strategy has not trained the mind to function under such conditions. All right. Under conditions that there is pressure and there is uncertainty. Okay. So staying calm under pressure is one of the greatest skill that you can develop, or that we can develop as traders. So what are some of the ways in which what are some of the practical mindset tools for traders? The first thing is that you risk acceptance. All right. Decide your loss, know your loss, and accept the possibility of you losing money even before taking that trade. So whenever I want to put on a trade, one of the ways that uh, I will stop my mind, or I deal with my fear of losing, is that I make sure that I know how much I am losing on that trade. I know how much I am risking, and I make sure that I am very, very well, I am very, very okay with losing that particular amount of money for that day. And if I am not good with losing a certain amount of money for that day, then that is not money that I should be trading with. So if I get up in the morning and I have just $100 or $50 to my name, I should not be going in with a certain amount of that money. So if I have just my $1,000 to my name, that is not money that I should be risking. If I risk that $1,000, how is it going to affect my daily activity? How is it going to affect other aspects of my life? All right. So if I lose all that money, then it is not going to be looking that good for me. Then definitely that money is not money that I should be trading with. So you need to size down, and you know how much you stand to lose, and you make peace mentally and right deep in your heart with the possibility of you losing that money even before placing that trade. In that way, you are not going to be afraid, you are not going to be panicking, you are not going to be hesitating. So most of the impulsive decisions that you do, jumping in and jumping out of trading, is mostly because we jump into trading and we don't even know how much we stand to lose if the trade goes against us. So we make everything clear. Clarity is what is going to guide us in trading. When you are clear about the amount of money that you are risking and you are fine with it, then it makes it more easier for your mind to function. Also, process over outcome. The tendency is that most of us that come into trading, and because of the way trading is being advertised, we focus more on the outcome of trading and we actually leave out the process of trading. And it is in the process that outcomes are produced. So if I want to build a car, I cannot just sit down and I am thinking about how I am going to be driving in my car. I need to think out how I am going to build my car, from the tires, from the wheels, from the screen, from the outside, from the engine, from everything. I need to think that out, right? So that is the process that is going to lead you to building a car, all right? So, what is the process that is going to guide you to your trading success? Your process depends on your actions now. How you learn, how much time you give to learn, how much time you give yourself, how much patience you have with yourself on your learning journey. Instead of you trying to seek results over a very short period of time, give yourself totally to the process and let the process guide you and let the process build you up and let experience compound and compound and compound into a meaningful skill. Focus on your execution and not on the outcome. Make sure that you're executing well. Where am I entering the market? Where am I buying? Am I buying at a discounted price? Am I selling at a premium price? Focus on good execution. So detachment. Avoid tying your self worth, right, to your traits. So I've mentioned this before and I'm still going to mention this again. Your worth as a human being is not dependent on anything out of yourself. So you're already worthy as a human being. All right. So you're already a worthy human being. And no matter what society is going to tell you, no matter what social media and all of these external forces out there are going to be telling you, that you need to achieve this, you need to achieve that, and that for you to be worthy, it is a whole bunch of lies that the mind has been telling human beings. And unfortunately for us, we have believed that big lie. Every human being is very, very worthy. And so your worth as a human being comes from you being a human being, and from you, if you're more religious, uh, or you're more spiritually orientated, then you are going to be saying that as sons and daughters of the Most High God, Allah, Buddha, or whatever you choose to call it, you are already worthy. So, as sons and daughters of the universe, your worth is inherent within you. And so, when you tie your worth to the outcomes of your trade, you're going to find yourself in an emotional roller coaster. All right. So, when you take a winning trade, you feel elated. And when you take a losing trade, you feel like you're the worst person on earth. So you must be able to detach your self-worth from the outcomes of your trade. You are worthy and you always remain worthy, win or you lose. Okay. Whether you win or you lose, you are still a worthy human being. And your worth is not dependent on anything out of yourself. Patience, to wait for the market for confirmations. So Don't always be in a haste to jump the gun or trying to predict the market. Let the market come to you. Let the market give you the confirmation, and let the market give you the go ahead that, okay, this is what I am prepared to do at this particular moment. All right. So when you come into the market, know that trading is not about those who can predict the market, but it is about those who can stay flexible, who can stay dynamic, who can stay adaptive, and who can function in the trading environment. So you must be able to train the mind, right? Train the mind to be able to function in this new environment. So one of the ways that you can develop patience in yourself is by you practicing patience in your daily life, and it is going to be easier for you to transition this attribute into your trading as well. So before we go, we would like to reiterate that uncertainty will never leave the market. That is the nature of the market. That is the nature of life. There is no point in time that you're going to say that I am certain that tomorrow is going to be like this. I am certain that this trade that I am putting on it is going to be a winning trade, or it is going to be a losing trade. When you put on that trade, you are not going to know if the outcome of that trade is going to be a winning trade, and or it is going to be a losing trade. You should know that, and when you have known that, you would have known peace. The market will forever be uncertain, and instead of you trying to fight uncertainty with predictability, you must train the mind, you must train yourself to be able to function in an uncertain environment. So shifting the mind from fearing the unknown to managing it, all right, it creates power, right? So you must be able to shift your mind from fearing the unknown to seeing the unknown as a series of possibility. So when I feel like I should not put on that trade because I am afraid and I don't know if the outcome of that trade is going to be a winner or a loser, you put on that trade and you tell yourself that, oh, I am going to see if the future is bringing me an opportunity or it is bringing me a lesson. So, win or lose in trading, you are always at the winning side, because when you lose, you learn. And when you make money, you learn as well, but you make some money in addition to that. So, my friends, you must shift the mind from fearing the unknown to managing it, and to be seen and to see the unknown as a possibility, as a potential where you can step into, and you step into higher levels of knowing, and to higher levels of earning, and to higher levels of making money. So the difference between those who struggle in trading and those who consistently uh, uh, make money in trading lies in navigating uncertainty with clarity, with discipline, and with confidence. So that is where the greatest super strength of professional traders lies. Their ability to navigate uncertainty with clarity, with discipline, and with confidence, and with patience. Our ability as professional traders is to be able to navigate uncertainty with discipline, with clarity, with confidence, and with a lot of patience. So, that is your superpower as a trader, and that is what makes you a good trader. It is not your technical methodology alone that is going to guide you to your trading profitability, but a mix or a combination of your mindset, your psychology, your emotional resilience or regulation or emotional management, your methodology, that is your strategy and your technical method, and the brokerage firm that you choose to use. Those are the combinations that are going to guide you into professional trading. So work on those three factors. Those three things are what will form your pillars as a trader, as a consistently profitable trader, as a successful trader. Your mindset, your psychology, your emotional management, your methodology, that is the second, and also your broker. So those are the things that are going to guide you to professional trading. So if you have been with us to the end of this video, I hope that you have learned something, and I do know that you have learned something, and you should please make an effort to share this video with your friends that you think maybe they will need to hear this as well. And if this is your first time of coming across any of our content, or watching us, or listening to our lectures, please make sure to follow and make sure to check out the channel. You are going to be surprised with a lot of content that we already have there for you. So check out the channel. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like, so that YouTube algorithm is going to recommend this video to more of our brothers and sisters out there who need this piece of information as well. Also, make sure to hit that notification button so that you be one of the first people to get notified when we drop any content. And also, if you want to be part of our Telegram channel, the link is in the description, and you can join our Telegram channel uh, for daily content on technical analysis, trading psychology, mindset, and emotional regulation. Also, if you want to reach out to us privately, you can contact us through the WhatsApp number in the description and also in the pin comment. And if you don't know, your success as a forex trader also greatly depends on your broker as one of the pillars of successful trading. And so there is also a link for you to create your trading account if you are new to trading in the description as well, with the best broker that you're going to have out there. So we have done most of the work, and what you just need to do is for you to sit, relax, and enjoy. So I wish you all the best in your trading journey. Until next time, may God continue to guide, bless, protect, and provide for you each and every step of your forex journey and your daily life as well. So God bless you all, and have a great rest of your time. Bye bye.